A series of untimely deaths have continued, including a senior Russian military officer who died after falling from a 16th floor window. A high-ranking Russian Ministry of Defense official died after falling from a window on the 16th floor of a high-rise building in St. Petersburg, Russia. 58-year-old Marina Yankina, head of the Department of Financial Assistance for the Western Military District of the Russian Ministry of Defense, was found dead near a building in St. Petersburg, Russia on Wednesday, Russian independent media Meduza reported. Yankina's death is being investigated as a possible suicide, reports the Russian publication Fontanka. The Russian telegram channel MASH reported that Yankina called her ex before falling out of a window and dying. Prior to joining the Western Military District, Yankina worked for the Federal Tax Service of Russia. Yankina's death comes after many Russian officials died under unusual or unexplained circumstances after Putin launched an unprovoked war against Ukraine nearly a year ago. This was announced on Twitter by Anton Gerashenko, advisor to the Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, on Thursday about Yankina's death. According to the Moscow Times, Vladimir Makarov, the most recently dismissed head of Russia's Interior Ministry, was found dead this week in an apparent suicide. Putin critic and sausage tycoon Pavel Antov died last December after falling from a hotel window in India. In September of last year, Russian energy tycoon Ravil Maganov, 67, also died after falling from a hospital window, Insider reported at the time. However, some of his elite fear that he has plunged their country into a long and futile waste of life and resources. February 2, when the president of Russia ordered troops to be sent to Ukraine. At the age of 24, he expected to win quickly, earn a place in history with the Tsar, and teach the United States a lesson about Russia's resurgence after the collapse of the Soviet Union. He is wrong. The war claimed lives and injured hundreds of thousands of people. Russia and Russians are vilified as aggressors in the West. And his forces now face a resilient Ukraine backed by an expanding US-led NATO military alliance. A senior Russian source familiar with the decision-making process said Putin's hopes of improving his reputation had not materialized. A source who requested anonymity said, "The future will be much more difficult and costly for both Ukraine and Russia. Economic losses of this magnitude are nothing compared to the few territories conquered." The source said he believes many of the elite share his view, but saying it publicly would mean swift retaliation. Putin says Moscow is engaged in an existential battle with Russia and the arrogant West, which seeks to divide Russia's vast resources. This is a story that Ukraine and the West reject. Despite all the geopolitical chaos caused by Putin, he still has no serious contenders for power, according to 5 senior Russian sources close to policymakers. And with a crackdown on public dissent, the 70-year-old need not fear the upcoming presidential election in March 2024.